morning, everyone. This FAC meeting is really important for Lithuania, as we expect that colleagues ministers will agree and the Council will pass the additional criteria for the Belarusian sanctions regime. We're adding 3 points additionally to the current sanctions regime related to the hybrid activities against the European Union. We need solidarity. We got it. We need now united action. We are acting in this way today. And I'm really looking forward into expanding the sanctions regime on Belarus if those hybrid activities continue against us. So politically united and then also fast in the decisions. This is the recipe for the future and prevention from the activities against the EU as we were suffering already. Only when we are united, dictators step back. On Ukraine, we have to move fast. Before Christmas, we have to achieve in 2 directions good results. That is the reparation loan and the EU membership. On both of these tracks, last week we had good progress, and we really congratulated. The one that was in Lviv, and also the Council's decision on freezing the assets for a longer period of time. Now we have to move forward with finances for Ukraine, and the reparation loan is not the major and the best, but the only option how we can mobilize finances for Ukraine's need. And we know how many billions they need for defense efforts and also for macro-financial stability. Second, on the EU membership, we have to also move forward till the end of this year. If we cannot open the 6 clusters that are already screened by European Commission, we have to set the date politically within the European Council when it is the date for Ukraine's membership in EU, and it has to be even faster than 2030. Otherwise, we are not giving credible cards for Ukraine in these negotiations that are ongoing. These are 2 cards that Europe can and must provide to Ukraine: membership and finances, reparation loan.
Taking into account that Moldova and Ukraine are always going hand in hand, does this mean that the EU membership for Ukraine applies for Moldova as well, and every step of the way as well applies to Moldova?
We cannot expect each and every step in the future that will be synchronized. But the very opening of the negotiation, opening of the clusters, of course we want it to be synchronized and it to happen together. When we cannot achieve this, the political process is still ongoing, as it was last week in Lviv, as it is in the upcoming days also for Moldova. So we are moving forward anyways. But now we have to speed up, because negotiations are not waiting for us.
Minister, do you think that Ukraine is now any closer to peace as American side states several times?
Of course, we have all big hopes and expectations that this time this will be the real move forward, but we all understand where the problem is. And it's not about Ukraine. Ukraine is ready back from March 2025 when Ukraine agreed with unconditional ceasefire. The problem is Putin. And the problem is Russia's position. So if this time Americans can achieve the result with Russians, not so much with Ukrainians, because we know that that all the leadership of Ukraine wants to achieve the ceasefire, then the long-lasting, credible peace. So then we can expect that this will be the move forward. Otherwise, we will be wasting American diplomacy's time and our time. We have to put pressure on Russia. That's why Europe must work already now on 20th package. We cannot stop. We cannot stop, pause, and then wait what will happen. No, we have to proceed.
If Ukraine does give up on NATO membership, can Europe provide the security guarantees instead?
One of the security guarantees that we can provide, that is the EU membership. That is the really big one. Another one, of course, is the activities of coalition of the willing. But at the end of the day, knowing that the potential adversary, and now is the current aggressor against Ukraine, is the nuclear power. So we can trust only those security guarantees that are provided by also nuclear power with the extended nuclear deterrence. Otherwise, it won't work. As the Ukrainians are telling us already, and I believe in it, we don't need another Budapest memorandum. We need something credible. So when I hear that will be Article 5 alike security guarantees, that is what we need. That is the guarantee that not only conventionally, but with all other strategic capabilities, there will be the power that is backstopping and guaranteeing the security. So if it is on the table, that is a good sign. And this will be quality-wise a bit different thing. The third element of the security guarantees, that is the financial security, the macro-financial security, and understanding that Ukrainian conventional forces will be the ones that will deter Russian conventional forces. They will need the support, and the support can be and must be provided by Europe.
Have you discussed this with your British and French colleagues, the idea of a nuclear backstop?
We are not considering from the European side these options, and of course we see it within the Ukraine and American discussions. So I can only comment on the very idea that there will be the Article 5-alike guarantees. So that would be credible. As it is within NATO, we all understand that deterrence works till nuclear extended deterrence is effective. Otherwise, we saw Russian nuclear coercion that was used against the West, against the Ukrainians. All the threats that were coming from Russia back in 2022 with the potential use of tactical nuclear weapon. So we cannot we cannot set it to the side and only rely on conventional forces, thinking about potential scenarios in the future. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
What are your plans to support Ukraine in 2026 in a military case and diplomatic way?
From Lithuania, that was the only line in our budget for the next year that was passed without any additional discussion and then without the political battle on it. That was support to Ukraine. 0.25% of our GDP for the next year will go for the security and defense needs of Ukraine, as it is this year, as it was previous year, as it will be in 2027 and 10 years onwards. So that is what we need. But we see that within Europe, there are more talks than money on the table. And that is my message to my colleagues and partners within the European Council. Put your money on the table and then put your money where your mouth is. We do not need only political positions. We need finances. And we know what demands are from Ukraine side. So that's why Lithuania is delivering and expects that Europe will deliver also. Otherwise, there will be struggles on Ukraine's side. On the diplomatic way, of course, we are supporting the very fundamental principles of international law that are paramount for Lithuania. That is territorial integrity, sovereignty. And I hope that all of us, once again, will conclude this within the Council today. Thank you.